Dang. Okay. So September 10th.
Yeah.
Like, where were you at when you heard about it?
Funny enough, I actually heard about it because you called me. I was working, and you called me. I was like, it's towards the end of my shift, so I'm like, sure, I'll answer. Like, what's up? Maybe he wants to hang out. I pick up the phone.
I wish.
I pick up the phone, and you're like audibly, like, distressed. And
It's a good way to put it.
and like, have you seen the news recently? Like, no, what's up? And like, Charlie Kirk got shot. And my immediate reaction was like disbelief, like
Surreal.
very surreal.
Yeah.
And it was weird because you caught me right in the middle of like work mode, and then like winding down towards the end of the day. So my brain was like on go mode, and then I heard the news, and I was like, boom! It's like I hit a wall. I was like, whoa. But yeah, it's been in my thoughts a lot the past week, just trying to dissect mentally what it means.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of angles. There's like the initial, a man passing, and then there's the how he passed, and then like the reaction from it. Man, yeah, I was like, I think like I called you and two other people about it because I was like, these are the people that I know, kind of in this space a little bit, kind of as a personal interest, and then like one was like Daniel.
Yeah.
He's really part of. I mean, he lived in DC for a while.
Right.
And Charlie's like a bit of a role model for our age group, especially men. So I didn't know what to do at the moment. I was like I was walking around because I couldn't focus on my workout.
Yeah.
Like I was having to pick a song to put over one of these episodes, and I felt so sick inside and devoid of like I was just listening through these songs, trying to pair it with another song that was on the episode. I just didn't have it. Like my soul was like snatched. Like I couldn't even like feel the music and go, oh yeah, that grooves with it. It's just gone. So went on a walk, called a couple people, including you, and then it was weird because the world just like walking around like nothing happened. But I know this like thing is actively going down somewhere in the world, and just strange. Very surreal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like some of the I like kind of like started gathering thoughts about it and like trying to like let it settle and like, okay, this actually happened. Like probably the first emotion I felt was probably anger, frustration and anger. And
I think it's natural.
And there's probably a lot of reasons for that. But I think the biggest one for me was, man, there's a lot. The biggest one for me though probably was like the idea that this man is a father and a husband.
Yeah.
And that role you can't replace.
No, I mean, he resembled a lot, and like I was not a super avid follower of his. There's millions of people that were.
Yeah.
Far more than I was.
Yeah.
I don't think I was subscribed to anything. But I seldom do with anyone. whenever his stuff would pop up in my algorithm, it's just consuming it, and so
Mm-hmm.
enough so that it would keep feeding it.
Right.
And so I did start to like kind of process the things he was saying and kind of see over the last few years, because I mean he's been kind of a king of the algorithm since then.
Sure.
And kind of see his life progress a little bit. Yeah. So there was like that element of I get to witness him growing a family, you know, getting married and starting things. And like people I knew, I've known and been close to people that were like the head of their chapter or just met him.
Yeah.
And it's very tangibly close, but and not in just that I've seen him way, but through seeing him have recognized that a lot of what he's after and pursuing of are a lot of the things that I am after and pursuing of.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very shared thing with our generation.
Right.
Again, especially the men. I think just the way he was, he had a lot of women backing him too. But
it's true.
But how he debated really attracted a lot of guys.
Yeah.
The bluntness.
Yeah, I think it was the way he debated was so special because I mean a lot of people would disagree with this as we've seen, but I think he truly came from a place of caring for the person he's talking to. He wasn't just trying to get his point across. He was like, this is a young man, a young woman who is coming at me to hopefully seek to understand or oftentimes prove me wrong. And like,
that's how he started.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, they're misled. And I want to show them the truth and try to present that in love. It's like, yeah, I don't know.
I think you can only approach it like that through a lens of Christ. Because you have to be willing to give someone the dignity to see them as, or like, you're still like Imago Dei.
Right. Right, which is, that idea there is the basis of so many of his arguments, actually.
They stem from faith.
Yeah. And like, especially like, the Imago Dei idea is like, his stance on abortion is Imago Dei. It's like that child in the womb has just as much dignity as you and me.
Man, if you like go and watch his stuff, he gives people their 15 minutes. Right. And even if they're running in circles sometimes, like he would like cut people off maybe because they were like jump way past the point and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I used to think that was like, I don't know, I didn't have a word for it, like it may be a little aggressive.
Sure.
But like in retrospect, I don't know if it's because I'm just like an element of upset at like a certain group from this, but I go like, oh no, that was like just the right amount. That's kind of what was needed.
Right. And I think that it stems from the fact that he cares. It's like, I don't want them, like, I want to get to the point, I want to get the point across of what matters because it's important and it matters. So if you're going down this direction, that's like frivolous. He comes and is like, wait, that's not the point. That's not what's important. Like, I want you to see right in front of you what's important. And like, sure, it can come across kind of aggressive, But like, aggression is not inherently bad.
No, misplaced. It is. But good man, gentleman about it. I think one of the points that he really would make was that a lot of the issues he saw stemmed from this one thing, and it was a really hard thing to grasp. Like, I think as a college student age, but as like with abortion, like he's not just trying to fix abortion, he's trying to fix a whole bunch of stuff through fighting for that.
Right.
Because he saw it as like this intrinsic value of life influences so much else.
Mm-hmm.
The homeless is like one of the examples that I've heard. And through abortion, like the American family had such a passion for that.
Yeah.
Erica, on her when she addressed the nation, was like, if he became president, that's what his goal would have been, to bring back the American family.
Right.
And so I guess kind of moving on from that, like I really like personally relate to that. It's not that I was necessarily fighting for the American family on a broad platform.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, but I've been putting everything I've got into shaping myself towards that.
Right.
Whether it's been the most efficient way or not. Like there's like this goal, which is family and ministry. Through faith, the ideology kind of stems from that. I'm letting this book influence my views and opinions. And then leading from that, like, I mean, do you relate to?
Absolutely. I think that's probably my biggest goal in life, is to be a good husband, good father. And currently, right now, it's to be a good son. And I think a lot of the ways you become a good father and husband is by learning how to be a good son. But yeah, it's interesting how so much can stem from one thing of like, why do you have the desire to build a family? Well, it's like, I believe life is good, and I believe relationship is good, and I believe community is good. It's like, okay, what do you need for that? Well, you need someone else. And how do you grow and prosper that? And I think the most personal way to do it, like by personal, like the thing you can most tangibly affect yourself is by starting family. And then that has a lot of ways, like roads it can go down, societally too.
There's something to the core that you shared with them.
Yeah, and it's probably like you share that, like a lot of ideals or
worldview.
Yeah, worldview, ideology. It's maybe the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
But then I think the thing that inspired me about him is that he was, from what I witnessed in testimonies of him, is he was living out those ideals. He wasn't just preaching those ideals and saying you should live this way and then not living that way. He actually took that to heart and lived out what he said and lived out what he believed.
And from there, wanted to bring others into it.
Right.
He's like, this is the joy I felt. I want you to be in it and part of it.
Right.
I think from there, it's like, I don't know if his killing was in relation to one of the conspiracies or whatever, but we can go off the assumption that it was that kid, our age, and the reason that was stated that he shot him was like some things can't be argued against, right? Like I think it was what I think I'm really mourning over isn't just the loss of Charlie Kirk, which there's a whole lot that goes into that. He was a spokesperson when, like, not so that I didn't have to be, but there is an element where, like, in my stead, like, I wasn't out there, but he was.
Right.
But he was shot for these views, this ideology that we share. And then peel that back another layer. There's all the celebration around it. I see this gradient of like dancing in celebration, laughing about it, all the way to just feeling the need to explicitly state that, oh, I don't care. Dismissive.
Yeah.
To other people going as far as saying, like, I don't even want to be in relation to a party that thinks that way. And moving and jumping ship. Not necessarily to the right, per se. Which, you know, like, I probably lean in the middle for reasons. It's just, but disbanding from it.
Right. And I think that's partly from the recognition of the act of assassinating another man for his beliefs is more than just political. And I think people are subconsciously or consciously recognizing that this isn't between right and left. This is like actually a matter of like what's good and evil.
I think that's where the saying came, I am Charlie Kirk. People built off of the same foundation that he was shot for.
Yeah.
And so it's very easy to picture yourself, what if someone shot me for expressing my beliefs? Which that's been like stifled for the last few years.
Right.
The last while. But like, I think I was homeschooled and pretty sheltered. And so I was usually around people that shared my beliefs.
Right.
But like stepping out and working at Target, and I step out into the world that's foreign to me. I think the first 5 people that ever hit on me were guys at Target.
That'll wake you up.
yeah. And then, but really, what really upset me to my core was I wasn't allowed to tell anyone Merry Christmas, and I love Christmas.
Yeah,
it's my favorite season, and they're like, you know, I'm like, why? Like, why would I not? That seems like wild. Like, who doesn't love Christmas? Well, it wasn't Christmas. It's the fact that it's Christ in Christmas. You have to say Happy Holidays.
Right.
And so from this point, there's been this like element of you're not allowed to speak on your beliefs because it's going to offend someone. In workplaces where it started, companies getting PC, but like, I mean, that's where you spend most of your time. That's where you're around people most often. And it's not talking politics.
Right.
It's literally like Christianity. We don't want you expressing signs of Christianity in our space, out and about.
Right. I think societally we've come from a place of having objective truths and laws and mores and taboos, and now we're we've come to a place where we've tried to eliminate all of those, where you can be whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, you can believe whatever you want, unless it attacks, quote unquote attacks, or offends
This is violent.
certain people's beliefs,
Yeah.
right? So it's like this huge swing from we believe in truths and right and wrong, which is a necessity for a society.
Here's the catch. I think is what happened is when Christians like they adjust in their views and understanding of things, but it's all based on this core infinite thing, a way of life, instruction book, however you want to call it. It's consistent. It doesn't change from century to century.
Right.
Our understanding might, but like, so these beliefs, these like core beliefs within it, they don't change, but then you've got this external group of people that aren't saved. You almost can't entirely blame them for not prescribing to it. I wish they would, but they've changed the definition of what is violent.
Right.
The world actually used to operate this way, and then you've got this loud group that changes and then goes, you're restricting me from operating how I would like to operate.
Right.
But beyond that, it's like, it actually used to be the normal. Your definition of it changed, and your definition is not the Merriam-Webster definition.
Right. Or like even like this idea of hate speech.
Yeah.
Like now, like hate speech used to be like slurs and like things that are actually hateful and like demeaning to people.
Well, the definition of everything has been diluted.
Yeah. To where now it's like calling a man and a woman can be considered hate speech.
A mother. You can't say mother anymore. It's pregnant person.
Right. It's diluting truths of these are truths. This is what reality is. But because it offends, I think, is like a root of it. Because if you attack my feelings, that's violence. Right? So if I'm offended, that means you have attacked me. Right?
Yeah. I agree. It's being led by feelings rather than truth is thrown out the window. You now have to reach people through what is good and beautiful. And eventually they'll ask about the truth. Like, those beliefs are a very hard thing to communicate to someone who's not receptive of it.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, you can't communicate anything to anyone who's not receptive. In general, whether it's like beliefs or not, or like truths or not. And I think that's why the Bible talks about they'll know you by your love. It's like they're not going to know you because your arguments, they're not going to know you're Christians because your argument's more convincing,
Right.
or because you have a better talking point, or because you're being you're trying not to offend them.
Yeah, you can't seek to
or
win.
whatever. It's simply loving them. Of like, that's what changes hearts.
I'm going to give you your intrinsic value and treat you as such.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think It's like I can't fight these surface battles if you don't understand where it comes from. And so I've seen like clips of, I think often like Christian men, but they might be new to the faith, kind of approach him and go like, how do I maintain this in like such a secular space in school? How do I like build that strong foundation that you have? And gosh, I love this thing. He keeps like talking about courage, having the courage to.
Right.
And it feels like this invitation. But before I dive into that, are you sick of like the shallow, surface level faith, lack of intentionality, that like tiptoeing around that it feels like so many people are doing, like in the church and out of it?
Yeah. It's like it brings into question the idea of belief, of like, what does it mean to believe something? Like if you really believe something, you're going to act as if it's true. So it's like if you believe Christ was raised from the dead, that's not something light. And it's not something you just go through the motions of. And when he says, I've given you a helper, the Spirit that guides you in truth, and you're going to do greater things than I, it's like, okay, as a Christian, you claim to believe that. But do you believe that? And like Paul says, faith without works is dead. So it's like, if you have faith, but your life doesn't bear fruits of faith, it brings into question like, okay, what do you have faith in? And how strong is your faith? And it's not saying, it's not the works-based religion of like, I need to pray this many minutes a day, or read the Bible.
But it is scriptural that you will bear good fruit.
Right. But it's an overflow of your faith.
Uh-huh.
It's not, I'll do all these things and I'll have faith. It's because I have faith that Christ is real and Christ raised from the dead. And I believe what he says, then I'm going to do these things.
I think step one is like, when faced with untruth, like, are you going to proclaim what you believe is true?
Right.
In the face of that.
Right. Well, another thing that is brought into question from September 10th is, are you willing to die for your faith? Like that made that very real for a lot of people. That's not light.
No, it's serious business. I think it's kind of what he preached on. Courage. Like, you can't put your life on it and truly believe it in that sense unless you truly understand and have adopted it.
Right.
You don't just go like, oh, that's logical. Let me just flip the switch and like operate out of that. It's like a life pursuant of it.
Right.
You could be 80 years old and still feel like you're on the forefront of understanding it. A life ahead of it.
Right. It's putting in the work to make it your own.
Like, so that's what courage is, though. It's like, it's inviting you to speak out on it. You need to have the courage to do that. But further behind that, you actually have to tuck into your Bible and understand it so that you can speak out on it.
Right.
It's having courage, like, oh, like an invitation to build that relationship with Christ.
Right.
It's kind of roundabout.
Yeah, it's almost the idea of faith itself takes courage. Like stepping out in faith of like, okay, I've heard all these things about Christ and my parents believe this and I go to church and I've heard all these stories about how good God is and it's like, okay, like
That's what we do.
Yeah, these are things I've heard, but it's like the act of faith is stepping out in courage and being like, I'm not just gonna like think of these, like be knowledgeable about these things. I'm gonna take steps and take action that what you say is true, and I'm gonna believe in you through like I'm gonna my what my actions represent. Your actions represent what you believe and have faith in.
I'm going to let my faith dictate my actions.
Right.
Because I truly am founded upon it.
Right.
It's time that we let our faith dictate our actions.
Right.
To stop holding it within. It's not like a call to arms. It's not, but like there is a call to action.
Right.
And it's, dude, you get your relationship to that point. And I'm there with them. You know, like, why take someone dying to point that out?
Sure.
I've been sick of it, and increasingly, but I guess it's the straw that broke the camel's back. But I'm a little ashamed to say that, like, that's what it took.
Yeah. And I think, speaking for myself and from what I understand you too, is like, we're caught up, we're frustrated because I'm frustrated because I've seen myself have a lukewarm faith. And I'm tired of that.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
Yeah. And that is a heavy burden to bear that isn't necessary. It's like if you can believe something in your head or be knowledgeable about something in your head and not living it out, like in a sense that's like a dead man walking. Like,
yeah,
like you know what, from either experiences in your past or you've seen good fruit and you've seen yourself excel and you've seen yourself grow, or from stories you've heard or from the Bible that you believe in, you have that, you know what is good and what brings life, and you're choosing the opposite, or you're living the opposite.
You know better.
Which is death.
Yeah.
Right? It's like you're choosing to live death. It's like you have that choice.
Feels like having this gift and you're just like absolutely putting a cork on it. You're not letting it overflow to those around you.
Right.
I've heard a lot of people say, kind of like, or rather, the wise ones that I've approached, like in pursuit of these things that we want, faith, family, freedoms, whatever, like it's supposed to bless those around you. If your relationship isn't good for those around you, it's probably not a good one.
Right.
And so, like, if your faith isn't spilling out in that same sense, like, I don't know, there's just some searching to do.
Right. Well, and it doesn't just bless people around you, but it blesses you.
Yeah.
Like when you're generous, or when you are patient, or when you display these virtues, or in like virtues of the Holy Spirit, like that brings you joy, and that brings you fulfillment.
You're getting closer to Christ by doing
Right.
it.
And it's almost a selfish thing to like.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
sense,
it's beyond a
it's
dopamine
like,
hit or whatever chemicals. Like, you can force it, but it's different than being spirit led, allowing it to say, you know what, like, I am yours.
Mhm.
You know.
Right. Yeah, which is.
It's been a cool feeling every time I've like genuinely been in tandem like that. You know, pulling the yoke with them. And a lot of faith is like, there's a step of faith, but then there's this point where you gotta look at the hindsight and go, you know what? I'm biting in.
Right.
I'm at that point. I'm like, I want in.
Right.
Because, I mean, how I pursue that is how I pursue everything else.
Right.
I think he hit the nail on the head with that. Like, you operate entirely out of your worldview.
Right. Can't help it.
Yeah, I don't want a view of my own.
Sure. It's like, yeah, it's like the idea that you with human reasoning eventually comes to the end of itself. Like, I know that whatever I come up with on my own, it's not the absolutely right thing.
No, our perspectives are so limited.
Right. So it's like, okay, well, shoot, what should I believe? It's like, or you see it like, okay, I feel like a girl, even though they're a man. It's like, are you going to let your feelings and your finite emotions dictate your reality?
Yeah.
Or are you going to be like, no, the God of the universe that created me, it's right in the front of the book. It says in the image of God that he created them, man and female. There's distinction there. So it's like my understanding and my emotions can't dictate what's real. So why should I act that way?
Yeah, it's kind of like, are you doing the same thing?
Right.
Are you rejecting a truth?
Right, and it might look different.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
But whether it's a little bit or a concentrated version of it.
Right. And I think...
Bring it to its end.
And I think it's interesting because we both grew up in Christian households, and there's a lot of phrases thrown around, like Christianese.
Yeah,
And I think it's really easy to frame a concept using that language, and it could be completely wrong, completely false, but because it sounds good and it seems right.
Oh, I loved VeggieTales, but those stories go so much deeper,
right,
and a lot darker. And Jonah, that whale. When you look into Nineveh,
right,
and their debauchery, what they're about, not so cute.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's real things at play, real concerns, and we could fall right back into it.
Right.
If we're not careful. I mean, I've had my nose in my own business for so long, working towards this thing, but I don't want it to slip away before I have a chance to actually get to it. And then, okay, once I get to it, then what if it's threatened then?
Right.
It's like, I think through this event, we've seen so many people all over the world. I mean, more countries than I could mention off the top of my head that have shown more patriotism than I've really seen in the U.S. in a minute.
Yeah.
And I've seen the U.S. wake up too. Maybe not with 3 million people in the streets, but it feels good to have those other voices vocal. It makes it easier to step out, I think.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be reliant upon that, but it does make me hopeful.
Right.
If we don't keep it up, because this could die down. This could it could be a moment where we feel it, and then it could be taken again. I think it's important that we continue talking about it.
Yeah.
Like what matters. I don't mean just like the death, but like what we felt and what it means and how we should act accordingly to it.
Yeah, I think that right there is the question of like, what do we do in light of this? Like, what should our response be? And it's like you don't want to go to the extreme of, you don't want to repay evil with evil. It's like no, that's how you have a civil war, and that doesn't help anybody.
You got a verse for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 Corinthians 10:3-5. You're at church. You were next to me when we heard that. It's so topical. This was the Sunday after the assassination. For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ.
Yeah.
We know. You become a new creature, you know in your core when you're sinning. Like, when you see something that's just evil and rotten and spoiled, like, something's not right. We clearly have the ability to face it and turn it around, it says.
Right.
But you have to allow yourself to be moved that way. And it's not with bullets.
Right. Yeah, and I think it's important to recognize that. It's like, what's the mode of operation? Like, how does he say? It's not a battle against flesh and blood. No. Which means, okay, it's a different battlefield.
Yep.
It's not physical. It's a spiritual battlefield. So how do you fight that? I think the most powerful way to fight that is getting on your knees and praying. Like, prayer is our strongest weapon. And just like soldiers, when they're preparing for battle, they run these drills. They practice shooting. They practice cleaning room. It's not like a thing that's immediately picked up and you can just throw them on the battlefield and they'll get business done. It's like, no, this is something you have to practice. It's like, the first time you shoot a gun, you're probably not going to be a good shot. The first time you pray, it's probably going to feel a little awkward. It's not going to be the best or whatever. But
Felt like I was talking to a wall for a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, how do I develop these practices? And it's a practice, right? It's like, and it's not a obligation, but it's a gift, right?
Mm-hmm. I've heard the more you know of something, the more potential you have to love it or them. That's why I'm amazing friends with you. We clicked really well, but theoretically, of the however many 7-8 billion people that are out in the world, mm-hmm. there might be someone who fundamentally could like jive with me more. I would never trade relationships for that.
Right.
I've founded something with you, and I know of you, and that's irreplaceable. Same goes with your Bible, with God.
Right.
You know, you have to create space for them. We make time for each other.
Right.
We're made in His image. The function's the same, and I think that's what we need to do. I think that's what Charlie fought for at its core, and he's not alone in it.
Yeah. And he knew what he wanted and recognized what was important, and he chased after that from a young age. Like he started.
The conviction.
Yeah, well, he was like 18 when he started.
When he found it.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it really started sooner than that.
Right. Right. So it's like, for me, it's almost a call to action. Like, dude, figure out what's important and what's true and what's good,
Mm-hmm.
and chase after that.
Stop wasting your time.
Right.
Alrighty. You want to go to war? Close in prayer?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Oh, Father God, thank you. Thank you for good company, good friends, and just this experience you've created for us. Father, I pray for Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk and the two little ones that he left behind. I pray that you just wrap them up in your comfort that you so graciously provide us. Father, I pray for this country, especially for the young within it, that we find a way to adapt to this volatile, changing, feels like a battlefield at times, God. Be our sword and shield, Father. God, I'm just so grateful for the life you've given us and the life you've set before us to pursue and in relationship with you. In Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen.